Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 27th, 2018. One more day left in February, and we are looking at our markets today. And we've had a kind of a boring trade lately, it seems. Looking at the activity going, making sure my mic is on today. um, Looking at just the bottom here, what our economic news is. Red Book 755. We've got some movement in some areas and some in none. If we want to look at the whole daily move in all these pairs, let's look at, yesterday, kind of a wide range, but we didn't close much above where we opened on the dollar, yen, the euro, same kind of situation, not much going on there. Aussie dollar, kind of a bearish setup there. That's kind of a nice look. New Zealand dollar, finally experiencing some final downtrending here. Probably get a bounce on the Aussie yen. US dollar, Canadian dollar, catching a bid there. Pound dollar, kind of consolidating into a wedge. Euro pound, a little weakness right at that midpoint there on this line. Looking to see what happens here. Dollar Swiss, which is dollar index, catching a bid and staying up there, finding buyers as we go higher, or as we test lower. So let's look at our trades over the day. So we wanted to go short on the euro at 122.88, and we did not really get there. We are waiting to get there. We are still waiting for the 122.88, which we may get to. We may touch it. We may find a buy there. We'll have to wait and watch and see what we get. 7:30 right now. Prices are active and moving quite a bit. Euro seems to be catching a bit of a buy there, but struggling to stay up. A lot of activity there. So we're still looking at shorting the 122.88. All right. If we can touch down there. Dollar yen showing a little bit of weakness there at those levels. Doesn't like it. And let's see. We wanted to go on the dollar yen. We wanted to go long. Oh, look at that. We wanted to go long at 106.81. That is working out. Or we wanted to wait until we break above 107.55. So, our long trade is still holding nicely, and we should, consider holding on to that. Still, no reason to dump that off quite yet. We really want to see how much this 107 zone holds for us as we move. If we look at this structure, we've held this angle as support. We've tested this angle as support, and we're holding. So we've got really great supportive structure below us. Time cycle wise, we have great stuff going on. We should be very long biased around here unless we get a break down here. So we should still have a strong case for being long at this zone. Our next trade was we want to be short on the Aussie dollar at 7.835. Which we have gotten, just kind of, we kind of bouncing around it yesterday a little bit. If you're still in the trade, but we've been getting a lot of resistance, and this is looking very bear flaggish. So we should look for some falling and increased falling prices in the Aussie dollar here. Okay, so watch for this one. Look for some increased moves down. So that probably keep the same short idea, really. Monday was a dull day. New Zealand dollar was the next trade we had. We wanted to go, well, that's falling down nicely. So on the New Zealand dollar, we wanted to go short at 73.15, which we have gotten, okay? And we're going to continue to hold that short. We're going to want to see if there's going to be a pullback forming later on this morning, but that trade is working out very nicely. Pound dollar, we want to go short at 138.9. We haven't got there yet. We're still looking at that. That trade is still going. I'm so paranoid about my mic being off. Euro pound. We have a nice rejection off this line here, off this upper range in our looking at this. That sounds so technical. Finding, we are making a series of lower highs, and we want to look for a break. We may have to wait until we get all the way over to here before we get a break. So holding on a trade here. We had a trade on the Canadian dollar as well, where we wanted to go long at 127, which we did get, and that is still working. So hold on to this guy. And let's take a look at gold. I haven't looked at gold lately, so let's take a look here. What do we got going on? Well, we have some apparent weakness showing up here. If we want to put a trend line right here, we're looking at a break down here, so we want to look at a break and hold of the 1322. So that's that gold trade there. Double check. What do we got going on in the euro? Lots of volume here so far. Tons of volume. UJ. A lot of selling pressure up here, but so far it seems to be holding. DXY is up 0.16. Want to adjust some things on this chart real quick because that's cryptocurrencies. Yeah, it's looking okay. So let's see, double check the euro. What do we got going on here? A lot of volume here. It certainly wants to try, and it's struggling to hold. There's a trend line here. It's struggling to hold that. And it's getting a lot of participation. At the same time, UJ is trying to break above this zone here. It's trying to break above 125. And it's got a lot of volume pouring in, but it's got a lot of selling pressure on it. Our other pairs, Aussie dollar, found a bid right on the 50 retracement here. This is our 50. Where are we at? Our 50 fib line from swing low to swing high. So we did catch a bid on there. See which one of these guys wants to beat out the other one. UJ looking a little weak up there. Just a little bit. We'll see what happens. could be a little bit of a bear trap right here. We're trying to collect in some shorts at this level. But, you know, we'll have to see. Euro is, UJ looks like it's experiencing a lot more heat than the Euro is right here. I've seen these things play out a lot where it's kind of like people get in or people are going to get in a little late on this push down, only to be have it reverse on them real quick, or rug pull will happen quite a bit. Oh, look at that. Fun to watch this play out. Especially since we got 22 minutes left. That's going to be a fairly high volume bar. Now, Aussie dollar caught a nice bid there. Bought up pretty heavily. Euro was bought pretty heavily down here. But still, it's looking a little weak to me. When there's obvious strength there, that's a strong bullish candlestick and a strong bearish candlestick on UJ. Just keep an eye on it here. Want to keep looking at it. You know, while we're kind of taking a peek at that, let's look at our cryptos. All right, and look at this price action that we've had. Okay. We have had some pretty nice moves. You know, at the orange line on the bottom, that's the 93.75 harmonic support level that we've been testing. And then the 10,000 area we really blew through. Look at the volume on that right here. Look how much volume participated in that move to get it above. And we're above this this arc as well. And then we've had a nice stair step, this move. And then look at this is the long-term downtrend line, right? This line right here, long-term downtrend line, and we have crossed it. We're trading above it. What we really need to do is expand beyond the 10,750 line. We really need to expand beyond that, and we need to, you know, get really above 1125 and get back into the 12,000s. All right, we really want to and need to get in that area to have a good, you know, a fairly decent bias for some further legs up. But we are showing a lot of strength, a lot of volume participation. In fact, if we want to go back to here, we thought that this volume participation was huge. Okay. But then we fast forward on this accumulation and look at all the activity now. We've had large growth in volume participation, and we're trending up very nicely. Ethereum as well so Ethereum is beyond its 45. Bitcoin is beyond its 45. Litecoin is beyond its downtrend line. You know, we're showing a bullish butterfly pattern, harmonic. So we've got a lot of great positive momentum and energy in our cryptocurrencies. Let's take another look at our currencies. UJ still kind of hovering here and sitting right on that 107 zone. It's looking fairly supportive so far. Hasn't really tested. We really would like to see it test below here to see how much conviction there is. Let's look at the cloud. Euro. Now the euro is showing some weakness because we are below the 8, the 4, and we're kind of below the 1 right now. We could see a big drop off in price here. We could see a real flush in these areas. We'll have to see though. Aussie dollar. down below this trend line, down below the cloud. We really want to wait. You know, we're going to be using the Ichimoku system, so we want to wait until this lagging line is below the cloud. All right, we really want to see that lagging line below the cloud. But it is good. Well, I mean, actually, we could take a short based on the 4-hour cloud. See, the lagging line has pierced below the 4-hour cloud, so that's a bear signal because we're trading in price below the 1-hour cloud. So this is a comfortable short area, you know, because we took that 78.35 trade. So this is a good area for the shorts. Let's see. Aussie yen. We're going to start trading this guy more, but just don't have a trade on the screen, really. New Zealand dollar. And this is a short. A very kind of possibly good-looking short. Got to kind of keep it praised a bit, though. We could get a nice move on this one. Yeah. It's a good area to get in. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Where did we say we wanted to get in at? 72.60, right? Okay, let's take a look at the pound dollar in this consolidation zone. It's looking a little weak. You know, we are below the cloud on the pound dollar. All right, with the lagging span and the price. So we could be looking at a short here, you know, but I'm going to come back to this while we're talking here. Euro pound showing just a shade of weakness up there. You know, if you look at a lot of these pairs, almost everything's kind of sitting around in the cloud, just kind of floating around inside of it. Let's take a look at UJ and Euro. UJ and Euro are the ones that are showing the most kind of interesting moves here. We have this uptrend line. I drew this last night, and we're back up above it. We tried trading higher, you know, looking at the hourly cloud and looking at where we are in price, and here's our lagging span. So we're inside the 4, but we have this really good structure up here indicating some probable strength. You know, the wicks at this area, this is kind of telling us where price wants to go, because we didn't sell off within that candlestick, where we're kind of sitting in here still. So if we don't see any big buying step in, you know, we may have a bias for some downside, but you know, we'll keep looking out here, because on the structure in our pairs, we do have weakness showing. So here, looking at the euro, we have lagging span that crossed out of the 4-hour. We're below the 4-hour in price. We're below the 1-hour cloud. And the lagging span right now is pointing below the cloud. So let's just kind of watch how this plays out. Especially, we've got 14 minutes left in this hourly candle. UJ 107.7 now. Seems to be holding fairly decently. 108. These are the kind of markets that are fun to watch, because we're gonna be able to see fairly soon if there is if there's real conviction on the bull's part in the UJ to move this guy higher or not today, because we've been in a really kind of a flat market. And what's really interesting is that the euro is also showing some support while the dollar yen is showing some weakness, but on structure they're kind of near these breakout areas. So we should whatever direction we go, that's going to be the direction we want to be in, because there's been such a battle where we're at. Let's look at the volume price analysis here. Let's just look at this particular zone. Lots of buying. Let's go from the breakout. We're within our value area. Lots of fairly even looking volume here. Where the red line is horizontal on the screen, that's our point of control. And so the point of control, that's where the most amount of trading has happened at that price level. Okay, so at 106.87 is where most of the price has been trading on UJ. Now UJ is holding above 107 currently. All right, it's holding above 107, but we may be looking at some weakness here. We'll see. I'm gonna want it. We might want to drop this down to a 5-minute to see what is actually happening. I do not like time frames like this. I really don't like anything under an hour, but sometimes when you're watching the price action, smaller time frames can give you kind of an idea of what's going on. We're still making, on this short time frame, we're making higher lows, and we've got higher highs. So it's going to be interesting to see how we move here. We're respecting that trend line, and actually it looks like that trend line might have changed a little bit to follow one right here, but I'm going to keep looking at the one that I drew last night. So red book's coming out in about 5 minutes. We'll see how prices respond to that behavior, to that news. 107.4. 107.2. Maybe we're looking, but now the euro was up a little bit too, but now it's showing a little weakness. Lots of activity we're seeing. Oh, we got a breakdown of 107. We'll see if this is a fake out or not. Is there any bullish conviction? So we had a little bounce there off of that point of control. And kind of off that 4-hour cloud, or that's not even the 4-hour cloud, but that would be like the 20-minute cloud. Let's go back to our hourly, see what we got going on. Okay, price got a bounce off of the conversion line. That's the red line there. Three more minutes till news. And we're back into 107.01. Our cryptos are still moving quite a bit. Bitcoin's above 1,000. Sorry, 10,800 now. Good sign, good sign, good sign. Ethereum as well. Catching a bid. Litecoin finally positive on the day. But I mean, like, Litecoin's going to catch a big ride here. Litecoin has a lot more going for it than all the other ones. That LitePay card comes out. Did it come out already, maybe? I can't remember. As we've got a couple minutes here, going over like things with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got a couple fundamental things going good for it. Coinbase is, implementing the soft fork upgrade of the SegWit, segregated witness of the Bitcoin blockchain. So already you should notice that Bitcoin transfers are cheaper and faster. Finally, are they cheaper and faster compared to their peers? No, they're still really expensive. So we have that going on. Plus, there was a startup called Circle that was, the primary investors were Goldman Sachs, and Circle bought Poloniex, or Poloniex, however you want to pronounce it. That's a crypto exchange in the United States. So Goldman Sachs has while it's been calling cryptocurrencies the biggest scam in the world, they've apparently had no issues having a controlling interest in a company that they've helped start up, put money into that sphere. So, yeah. Okay, we got Redbook coming out in under a minute here. Lots of activity on these pairs. Lots of moving. Euro. Got a lot of buying right there. We'll see if we get a lot of trapped bears or bulls. We'll have to see. We've got 3 seconds. And we have the time limit has expired. And really not a lot of reaction. Wholesale inventories and blah, 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 blah. Not a lot of reaction to that. We'll see how this trend lasts. I mean, I'm still going to be looking at a kind of a bearish bias on the euro there just because of, if we're following the rules of the cloud, we are technically below that cloud. We're below it on the 4-hour. So we should be looking at lower prices coming around here. It's very possible that just because of the news coming out, you had a lot of people exit positions on news events. And I've always recommended you folks do that too. I do not like to trade I don't really trade any economic news. But what I mean when I say I don't like to trade it, I don't like to have exposure to it. But, some of these news releases are not as big of a deal as others. So, certainly Redbook can be a mover, but, sometimes feels like a hit and miss. Now, looking at UJ, we are finding some support around 107, and we want to see how much this is going to hold. We've got 4 more minutes left in this hour. Now we've broke down below it. Let's see if we have any buyers step in to support it. Still looking. 106.97, 106.98. This is just one of those. I have a long term look at UJ being long, and you have so many traders who want to short this so bad, who are participating in shorting it, that they're the kind of people that would fuel a short rally. to the upside here. You know, you get a flood of people coming in. I mean, there's going to be a capitulation here pretty soon if buyers don't step in. Oh, there's some people bought that up. 2 more minutes. How'd the euro move? Yeah, euro looking a little shaky. It's certainly not as up as it was. Looks like collecting shorts for some fuel here, maybe. This is good. We actually get to watch this kind of play out here because this is at a very, very, very kind of a titular moment for the day's trading. Okay, we are at 107.05, 06. Got some people down there who are probably shorting, who are getting a little anxious about their positions. 107.07. Yeah, the euro just kind of dumped a lot too back down. So yeah, this is looking pretty good so far. We are looking pretty healthy. Man, there is a fight at these levels, folks. I don't want to switch off the euro and the UJ right now, just because these moves are pretty wild. Not wild. They're good. It's nice to see this kind of activity. 1 more minute. $107.08. Oh, euro just bearish move. Bearish move. Just capitulated there. Yep, we had a bit of a fake out there, folks. But, you know, on the euro at least, it's looking extremely weak. But let's check out our dollar yen closed up, and let's see if we continue to want to move up or not. Being bought. If we can break the high up here, 107.23. Let's see if we got the oomph to do it. We start getting close to that 107.25. There's a lot of folks that were shorting that are going to have to cover. They're going to want to get out. It's getting painful the more this moves up, especially if they're long the euro. It's a little painful. So now we're at the 0.75 fib retracement zone from our low to our high. So we're at this zone that's been this has been tested. That support a lot in the euro. Just look at this area, how much has been tested on the hourly. We've been finding a lot of support here, but look at that volume on this bar. Let's see how much it wants to stay above that line, because the price line is what we're looking at, 122.80. Okay. UJ, maybe a little bit of a pause before we want to break up here, just a little bit. You know, another thing to look at while we were trading this is you know, where were we finding support? We found support off the conversion line, and where else? We were finding support off of the bottom of the 4-hour cloud. We were finding quite a bit of support off that 4-hour cloud. Oh, look at UJ. Want to see if it wants to maybe retrace that move. We'll have to see. Lots of activity. Okay, let's take a quick peek at our dollar here. Dollar, our Bitcoin dollar. So we've got so we want to see if we can get some support at the 10,718 area as we're going forward into our morning here and getting close to the New York Open. Litecoin, it's just it's probably going to catch a bid here shortly to test up higher again. Ethereum, definitely kind of one of the laggards. If we want to look at this using the cloud version, look at Ethereum. We are above our 1 hour. We're testing above the 4 hour cloud. Found resistance at it, now finding a slight amount of support. Litecoin as well. We're above the 8, above the 4, trying to get above the hourly cloud. We're inside the hourly cloud, but lagging spans above it. We're kind of in a consolidative state right here. We are finding some kind of holding pattern at the 218.75, which is good. We'd like to see that provides some honesty and integrity in the price area. We want to see it kind of consolidate here and then break off north from it. And then Bitcoin is for the first time in a long time, it seems, ever since the 20th, so for over a week, we're finally above the 1, 4, and 8 hour cloud, and we are above our long-term downtrend. So the longer we can stay above this line, the lower this goes, and the farther we can move away from it. We're looking at a pretty healthy area to be. Take a quick peek at UJ. Saw it move down a bit. We're at 107.04. See if we get a little retest. Not much going on. We may be in just a slow uptrend this morning. Euro caught a bid, but I think on a pullback here, we're going to want to go short. Limited risk there. UJ is the one that's just the hairiest. It's the one that I'm most kind of anxious about. I mean, Euro, see how we do here. I mean, that is a strong supportive buy off that zone. I mean, we may have a bit of a long bias there. We'll see though. Just kind of want to watch what our dollar yen does. That's going to give us a good clue. I know it's 8:06 and I haven't done a lot of moving, talking, or educating, but it's really good to see us kind of form a base down here, and it looks like we should want to move higher here. And the euro is looking relatively weak where it's at. Or it's getting a little bit of a bid there. Ooh, definitely not a convincing area either way, but I mean, where are we going? Where are we at? Again, on the hourly yen, you know, the lagging span is still inside the cloud. We're inside the 4 hour, we're above the 1, we're below the 8. You know, we are in a certainly what you would call a indecisive zone, non-trending area. But we are getting a lot of bids. A lot of buying in there. Euro actually caught up a little bit there. So we'll have to see what it wants to do. So we got the Aussie dollar, caught a bit of a bid there. New Zealand dollar as well. US Canadian dollar, you know, yeah, let's look at kind of taking a peek at what we've got our movers doing. You know, we're looking at our oscillators here. This is supportive selling conditions probably. You know, in fact, we've got lower highs and higher highs. That's a bit divergent. So we could look at some lower prices in our dollar yen. $107.5. Below that trend line. Let's see what happens. If we get below the open here, we should see some movement. Yeah, looking like we're getting some selling pressure now. Maybe. Certainly is buying off that trend line pretty strongly. What are our cryptos doing? Oh, still up. Minutes into this hourly candlestick, and we are, you know, yeah, it's 8:10, folks. You know, we've got some trade opportunities. You know, again, looking at the euro trade there, and you know, noticing that it's you know, it's still below the cloud. Yep. Yeah, we're still looking at a short bias there. Good re-entry on a short there. Really facing a lot of resistance. There's a lot of people who do not want this thing to go lower or UJ to go higher, but you know, there's a lot of fighting going on here. I mean, this is I have a breakout in one direction either way. Yeah, those are our trades, folks. I mean, kind of just analyzing these areas. You know, we're gonna, you know, we have great entry zones, and you know, one way or the other, today these two major pairs, the UJ and the EU, are going to show us their hands and show us their moves and show us where they want to go. But again, if we're using our cloud, if we're trading like our cloud, we are below the 4, the 8. The lagging span is below the 4. Lagging span is below the hourly. Our 4-hour lagging span is below the cloud. Our hourly lagging span is below the cloud. So we are looking at being short at these levels. Okay. We're testing the 75 retracement here. Want to see how much support it holds. And, dollar yen is looking at its own line of resistance up here, but it's holding this zone fairly well so far. So yeah, we've got some great trades and great trading in front of us. So trade well today, folks. Trade smart. Don't trade afraid or excited. Don't revenge trade. Be patient. And the trades, let them come to you. Don't go to the trades. Okay. You guys all have a great, wonderful, fantastic morning. Have a good rest of your trading day, and we'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.